Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to a predictions episode here, and it's being introduced by your boy Sean Riley. Welcome back to the Ford Podcast, or the M&S Podcast, where today it's another situation like one of the previous podcasts. Um, it's a weird situation. I wasn't able to open a can here, boys. I drank one earlier, the can of 7 Up, 7 Up Free, one of my favorite drinks actually. But a huge problem me and Milan had today was we're actually we're in the rundown to our leaving cert, and honestly getting caught up with a lot of schoolwork, projects and stuff in different subjects, and they're all coming in at the one time, and it's kind of a pain. I gotta be honest with you guys. So as I'm speaking to you right now, guys, last night Bellator just happened. I can't remember what episode it was. Not episode, sorry. What's it called? What show? Anthony Rumble was obviously fighting. Peter Queally was fighting. My boy got the W. But you know what? It's a weird one, to be honest, guys, because well, honestly, today that's not the only fight going on today. There is a few fights going on. Um, and ultimately, I'm looking forward to them very much so. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is the UFC card going on this weekend. But before I do that, I'm just pulling up um one of the cards just so I have it up in front of me. Oh, sorry guys, this is all over the place. I'm so sorry. It's like really not one of our better episodes. Um, all right, perfect. I've got this up in front of me now. Okay, that's a. The zone are not showing me the full card. Why would they not be advertising the guys? I'm sorry, this is just such a weird one. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'm so sorry, guys. That took way too long. But let's talk about the prelims very briefly. This was meant to be Sandhagen versus Dillashaw. Unfortunately, didn't happen. There's not a lot on this card for me anyway that I can see. First fight is Carlston Harris versus Christian Aguilera. I'm gonna go Carlston Harris. I've actually seen him fight once or twice in real life. He's an interesting fighter, and yeah, I think he'll get the win. The next guy is a 5-0. He is. I'm not sure where he's from. Tafon. I don't want to try and pronounce his last name because I don't want to offend anyone. He's 5-0, 26 years of age. In the coming in at the middleweight division, um, 5-0. He looks like a big guy. To be honest, he's 183 centimeters. So he's, you know what? He's only about 6 foot tall, and he's fighting um, Park Jun Young, who's 178, so he's about 5'10. So not actually the biggest guys, but for middleweight, they must be packing some pounds around the waist if they're not the tallest. I'm gonna go with Tafon for this one by KO. The next fight is a featherweight bout. I'm sorry I'm skipping through these so quickly. I'm gonna go with 901 Trezano to beat clean in this one. I just perceive Mike doing this. Now this next one, Phil Hawes versus Kyle Duckhouse. I'm gonna go with Phil Hawes. Phil Hawes is kind of an OG. I'm a big fan of him. Well, I wouldn't say a big fan, but I've watched a lot of his fights just because he always seems to be on the cards I watch. But yeah, I think he's gonna get the job done. First fight coming onto the main card now. I'm sorry I'm going through this so quick, guys, but as you need to get through it, I'm sorry. Because I want to make my predictions and let you guys get some content out. Not the best video, I'm sorry, but um, and Amanda Ribas versus Angela Hill. I'm gonna go with Amanda Ribas, hands down. That take the W here. Easy peasy lemon squeeze prediction there. Gregor Gillespie is fighting Carlos Ferreira. I'm gonna go Gillespie only has that one loss to Kevin Lee. I'm gonna have to go with Gillespie. I think he's gonna bounce back at the win here. And then next, we got Morris Green. This is a heavyweight bout, the most irrelevant fight in the UFC. And I'm not gonna even predict. You know, I'll predict Marcos wins, Marcus De Lima wins, but I really don't care. And I'm sorry that sounds kind of rude, but I just don't care, give a shit. That's just stupid. Like the heavyweight division is so dead right now. Honestly, like if it wasn't for Francis, like you got your top guys. You know, you got your Francis, your Stipe, you know, maybe John Jones, Derek Lewis, Cyril Gane, Volkov. Like you've got some contenders up there. cursed blades, but he just got knocked. They're like, there's only like three real guys going for the belt right now, and that's Francis, Derek, and well, John Jones. Maybe Stipe, I guess, but I don't think Stipe will be getting that title back anytime soon. But moving on. Welterweight bout, a huge fight. Neil Magny versus Jeff Neal. This is a weird one because if Neil Magny shows up, Neil Magny shows up, and anybody who knows Neil Magny will know exactly what I'm talking about. Um, it's a weird one though because Jeff, Magny's a great wrestler, but he's been submitted a lot. But Jeff Neal's just a great striker. He's a great overall fighter. Hold on, let me see their dimensions. Yes, after seeing the dimensions and the reach discrepancies, I'm gonna go Neil Magny in this one. I think Neil Magny gets the job done and then fights Kamzat hopefully or something like that. It would be a good fight. But the next welterweight fight should be a lightweight versus Diego Sanchez, but we'll talk about that tomorrow on the podcast in more depth, guys. Donald Cowboy Cerrone versus Alex Morano. I'm gonna go with our boy Donald Cowboy. He's gonna get the KO. Well, I hope he gets the win. I just want him to win so badly. So I'm gonna say I want Donald to win. I don't know if he'll win, but I'm saying I want Donald to win. And the final fight, Michelle Waterson versus Marina Rodriguez. I think Rodriguez wins this. Michelle Waterson not the best fighter, but I don't know. She's an OG though, but I think Rodriguez gets the job done. Now, going on to the better card of the night is the Canelo Alvarez fight. And it's a very interesting one because it's honestly, for me anyways, I am a boxing fan. I love boxing, but there's not like, I don't know a lot of boxers, if that makes sense. Like I know the main guys, and I'm more of a casual boxing fan. I love boxing. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not a casual fan, but I'm a casual boxing viewer in that I'll mainly just watch the best guys. Like I wouldn't watch everyone like I would in UFC. You know what I mean? Milan's more of the overall good watcher of everything. But yes. So let's talk about this main event fight because I want to go in depth on this baby. Because honestly, guys, I don't know about the rest, and Milan will, so he will go through it for you guys in much more depth, hopefully. But let me talk about this fight for you. Canelo Alvarez versus Billy Joe Saunders. Originally I was betting on Billy Joe to win this fight, and that was going to be my bet of the week. But I saw him wearing a Versace robe, and I think that this fight is either going to be a draw or Canelo will win. Um, I think if Canelo wins this one just wins it flat out, I think Canelo could stop him in the seventh round. No, I'm gonna say Canelo gets this done in the eighth round. Is not my bet of the week. I'm actually gonna send that over to Milan this week because I think he's got this in the bag for the bet of the week anyways. Actually, I'm gonna make a bet of the week because maybe it might be too late because I think we're recording at similar times. We just don't have time to do it fully today. So I'm gonna make a bet of the week. I'm gonna say, for the absolute fun of it, Canelo Alvarez by a fourth round TKO. And yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to be betting on today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is a very short one, but actually, it's going to be an interesting one because tomorrow we'll have a much more in-depth episode. And yeah, thank you very much, guys. And sending you over to Milan now for probably a more in-depth talk. I'm really sorry, this is really bad by me, but thank you very much for listening, watching, viewing, subscribing. Sending over to Milan Daichenko for the greatest ever predictions ever.
Alright, what's up, guys? So, we're gonna have to do this episode a bit different again due to some technical difficulties. We both have exams. Well, not exams, but we both have to do projects for our PE and we need to edit them. But obviously, there are some technical difficulties going on with that. But we'll get this done no matter what. So, basically, today's the predictions video. We didn't do it in time for Bellator, but that's because Bellator happens on Friday night. We'll talk about what happened then tomorrow in tomorrow's podcast, but today is just the predictions for UFC fight night. And we will also be talking about the Canelo. Well, you already heard Sean because Sean was at the beginning. So this is just my section here. So basically, starting off the prelims here, we have a nice. The only fighter that I really recognize here is Phil Dawes. I remember Carl Dawkins as well. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. I recognize his name quite a lot, but pretty much, I'm just gonna check these guys' records real quick just so I know. Share dog, just so I could compare these guys. But basically, we have Phil Hawes versus Carl Dawkins. Now, Carl Dawkins is coming off of a nice little win over Dustin Solstwas from November. Phil Hawes, he's been pretty active, had 3 fights last year, had a nice majority decision against Imavov. That was crazy to me, as I remember talking about Phil Hawes. That's what's crazy about this podcast, it's just like we really have been doing this for so long that these guys are fighting again, do you know what I mean? So it's just kind of crazy to think about. But we have Phil Hawes here versus Carl Dawkins. Now, Phil Hawes is a fucking beast. He's only lost twice. One to KO and one to submission. Now, good thing for him is that, well, not good thing. Carl Dawkins is a submission merchant. He loves those submissions. He's going to try and go for one. Carl Dawkins has been caught by a submission before. He has been caught by a guillotine, but that was in 2016, obviously. So he definitely would have had some time to adjust himself. As well as Carl Dawkins. Carl Dawkins, amateur record decent, 2016, 2017, he's been fighting professionally ever since. Coming off a nice little win, as I said. For this one, I'm going to have to, I think Sean would probably give it to Phil Hawes if he even is talking about it. But I'm going to give this to Carl Dawkins at a submission, and I'll even predict it. I'll say I was going to say a rear naked choke, but I'm going to say a guillotine. Fuck it, let's say around second round as well. Nice little Carl Dawkins finish there. You know what, let me just guess these as well. I'm going to give the first one to Carlston Harris, TKO first round. Tafon Nachukwi, sorry for pronouncing your name wrong if I did, versus Park Jung Yong. By looking at these guys, I'm going to give it to Tafon by, I'm going to say decision. We have a lot of it Klein versus Mike Trezano. Here, a lot of it looks a lot more. He's younger and he's a lot more experienced, so I'm going to give this one decision by to Klein. As I said, Carl Dawkins by second round submission. Next, we have the main card. Now, to be honest, this card's okay. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. This card is decent now. We have Amanda Ribas versus Angela Hill. Now, Angela Hill, she's coming off a 1-fight win after 2 losses. One against the woman who is going to be main eventing this card. But Amanda Ribas coming in with a loss, this year. She has 2 losses altogether. Her last one was against Paige Matzant by an armbar. Pretty sure I watched that fight as well. Angela Hill here, 5 TKOs, 8 decisions. She tends to get decision losses, but Amanda Ribas only has wins. Only has 3 decision wins. But you know what? She is sometimes her losses, she is prone to get fucking caught sometimes. Those are her 2 only losses. I'm not saying she always gets caught in every fight. I'm just saying that her losses are being caught, But pretty much Angela Hill. You know what? I feel like this is going to be a nice little stoppage not stoppage. Oh, do you know what? I don't see a TKO by her. I see a decision win for Amanda Ribas here. She's coming in as the younger woman as well. Nearly by 9 years, nearly by 10. It's actually kind of crazy, but I'm definitely giving this one to Amanda Ribas. If not a decision, a submission, but I don't see a TKO here. Next fight we have is Carlos Diego Ferreira versus Gregor Gillespie, the man that I've actually wanted to see so much ever since his last fight against Kevin Lee. Unfortunately, it was such a beautiful head kick though, I will admit. But it's unfortunate, but you know what? I want to see him fight again, to be honest. Diego Ferreira's last fight was Beneil Dariush. He lost by decision this year as well. Gregor Gillespie coming off a 2-year layoff. Now, it'd be interesting. To be fair, Gregor Gillespie is 34. Diego's 36. I want Gregor to utilize his wrestling, man. That's what I want to see so much. Gregor Gillespie is fucking known for that. And so, it'd be interesting to see, but I feel like he might come in with a more wrestling-oriented approach, especially since Diego does tend to go on the ground with 7 submission wins. But I'm gonna try and give the benefit of the doubt for Gregor. I'm gonna say Gregor Gillespie is gonna win this by decision. He does have 11 finishes out of his 13 fights, but I think this one he's gonna be a bit more calm. If the finish does open up, he will go for it. But Diego's only been finished once, so I won't chase it. I'm gonna say a nice decision win for Gregor Gillespie here. Next fight is Maurice Green versus Marcus Rogerio de Lima. Now here we have a nice little fight as well in the heavyweight division. Now both coming in at 34, 35 years old. Both coming off a loss as well. One against Greg Hardy, the other against Alexander Romanov. Both coming off very similar days, only 1 week apart from fights. Now here Maurice Green. Marcus Rogerio, he's coming in here 1 year older, but he has a very, very nice looking record. Loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. Maurice has a nice little win, loss, loss, win, loss. So, by looking at this, I'm going to have to strictly say that Marcus gets the dub here to get his record looking clean again and make it look, just continue the pattern. He's had the same pattern since 2014, man. It'd be rude to fuck up the pattern, so I'm going to have to give this one to Marcos. Now, how is he going to do this? Well, he's going to knock him out, man. Fuck it. Let's just say, I'm going to say a 3rd round knockout for Marcus Rogerio de Lima, his nickname Pizzao. Next fight, Neil Magny versus Geoff Neal. Now, this is going to be a fun fight to watch. I won't lie. Neil Magny lost to the future. We will talk about this in tomorrow's podcast, but Michael Chiesa, who is planned to fight Usman soon, which will be interesting to see, but Neil Magny lost to him via unanimous decision. Now, it looks here, I don't want to say anything bad about Magny, but he looks like he's a bit of a... He looks like he's giving Marab a little run for his money as being a decision merchant here, boys. Sorry about that, I'll just make sure. But I won't lie, he has a decent record. It's not the most consistent, but it's there. Do you know what I mean? It's there. He last won against Robbie Lawler, and then he fought Chiesa and lost. One thing that I will definitely say about these guys is they fight killers, Geoff Neal, obviously, last time fought against Stephen Thompson, lost via decision. Then won against Mike Perry, Nico Price, Bilal Muhammad. These guys fight killers, man. I won't even lie to you. I see this going as a war. Who do I think is going to win this fight? Well, do you know what? I'm pretty sure I watched that fight with Stephen Thompson. Oh, no. I watched a different one, excuse me. I might have. I'm not sure, but they both fought killers. Rafael dos Santos as well, Carlos Condit, Calvin Gastelum, Damian Maia. They all fought fucking killers, you know what I mean? So it's hard to judge who's going to win this fight. But to be honest, man, they both real recent losses as well, excuse me. Both 5-rounders, both main events. Do you know, it's actually so difficult for me to say who's going to win here, but I feel Neil Magny is going to come in here, the Haitian sensation. He's going to use his reach. He is taller. He's a taller man by 10 centimeters. Yeah, Geoff, hands of steel. Neil is 5'11", while Neil Magny is 6'3". I feel like Neil Magny is going to get this to a decision, I won't lie. I feel like he's definitely going to try and get his little record back to winning ways again and make it look nice and tidy for those future fights. I'm going to say Neil Magny by decision, split decision, because I feel like it's going to be a war. Next fight, boys. Wait, excuse me. Excuse me, boys. A little swig of some tea there. Some iced tea, cola flavored, yeah. But listen, boys, next fight we have Donald Cerrone versus Alex Morano. Now this is a little dangerous fight here, I won't lie. Because Donald Cerrone, obviously coming off a fucking disgusting 5 fight. Well, you can say it's a 5 loss streak, but like he hasn't won a fight in 5 fights. Let's just say it that way. This is his longest. I don't want to say losing streak because it's not a streak of losses because that Nico Price thing is very weird. I won't lie, but I'm just gonna say losses. But he's fought fucking killers that whole time. Do you know what I mean? I hope he still has it in him. I don't want to. This is basically his retirement fight if he loses. Alex Morano, obviously coming off that 1 fight loss against Anthony Pettis in 2020. He fought a month prior to that against Rise McKee, won via decision. You know, wait, he won by other. I wonder what that other is. I'd be interested to see this. See if I had Sean here, he'd be able to point this shit out. He'd help me out with this, but give me a second here, boys. I just want to see what's up. DQ by biting. Wow. Okay, so he has a biting DQ here. Let's hope Donald Cerrone doesn't bite him. But, you know, I really want Donald to win. I won't even lie to you guys. I don't even want to put it out there. You know, I'm going to say Cowboy because I don't want to put it even out there. I don't want to say the same show. It's like there's a want and there's a, like, I think and I want. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to say I want or I think Alex is going to win. I'm not going to put it out into the universe, you know? So I'm just going to say now, yeah, Donald Cerrone. I'm not one of those guys as well, but just in case, yeah. I'm going to say Donald Cerrone wins this. I feel like it's going to be a war. I'm going to go to a split decision for Donald Cerrone here. I really want this guy to win, man. You don't even understand. Last fight, main event. Michelle Waterson versus Marina Rodriguez. Now both similar ages. Michelle Waterson coming off a nice little win against Angela Hill. Last 2 fights before that, Joanna Jacek and Carla Esparza, 2 killers. Marina Rodriguez draw against Cynthia Calvillo, loss against Carla Esparza, and a win against Amanda Ribas. Now, what'd be interesting for me to see is how, you know, these 2 fighters, you know, they're very experienced. They've had plenty of fights. And, you know, I feel like it'll be an interesting one. I won't even lie to you guys. I feel like it'll definitely be a very interesting fight to watch. And, you know, I'm gonna say it. I feel like Michelle Waterson might lose this fight. Because by the looks of it, Marina's a fucking killer in there. She's only lost once via decision. But Michelle does tend to like to go for those submissions by the looks of things. But she has also lost via KO and 3 submissions. I'm going to say Marina's going to try and make a statement here and finish her off. A nice little win against Amanda Ribas, as well as a nice finish over Michelle Waterson. Definitely put her up in those rankings and maybe even get her another main event. So I'm going to say Marina Rodriguez. I want Michelle to win, but I feel like Marina is going to win by TKO 4th round. Now, one interesting thing before I get into the boxing is I wonder, because I see people saying Donald Cerrone should have been the main event here. And I don't know, because his record's a bit iffy, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, one interesting fact for me is, will he get paid more than Michelle Waterson or Marina Rodriguez? You know what I mean? Because he is pretty much one of the biggest names on that card, you know what I mean? But again, it'll be interesting to see. But the big card that's happening tonight, boys, I might have to watch this actually. I wonder what time it will be, to be honest. Wait, let me check, boys. It'll happen at 4 a.m. Okay, so I'm gonna have to try and wake up at 4 a.m. then, boys. Whatever, it's cool. But basically, boys, Canelo Alvarez versus Saunders, Billy Joe Saunders. Now, what a fight, man. I won't even lie. We talked about it last week. We'll talk about it tomorrow when it happens. What's the future of boxing gonna be? But I've been saying to Sean all week. Now, Sean probably would have said already, that cursed Versace robe. He was going to bet on Billy Joe Saunders. I wonder what his bet of the week is going to be, even if he doesn't forget. But I feel like Canelo might come into this and, well, I'm not feel, but Canelo's going to go in there and knock him out. Billy Joe has been rocked before, and I feel if he gets rocked by Canelo, Canelo's just going to go in for that finish. Like, no way. Billy Joe isn't going to lose this fight. Canelo's going to get a nice little... I feel like it's going to be a TKO. I don't see this going to decision, but if it does, Canelo's easily getting it. But you know what? I'm gonna say Canelo Alvarez is getting this easy dub, man. Easy dub. But hey, prove me wrong, baby. Prove me wrong. But anyway, guys, here is basically my predictions for the fights in a couple hours. Well, not a couple, it's 7:30 right now, but you know what I mean. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Me and Sean will see you tomorrow. We won't be recording like this. We'll record together again. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this semi-organized podcast. And we'll see you tomorrow, yeah? Talk to you later. Peace.